Traveling the country is a very unique experience. It allows you to be exposed to other cultures, and it also allows you to bring your culture to those places. Now, planning for an international trip can be very rough. So I'm going to be helping you with this London travel guide so you can plan the perfect trip to the home of the Big Ben, the London Eye, and Buckingham Palace. Let's flip to the table of contents to go over what we're talking about today. In our first part, we're talking about what goes into planning the trip. Then we're going to be going into tips and tricks for when you arrive. And finally, I'm going to be sharing what to see while you're in London. Before we arrive at London Heathrow Airport, we're going to go into what to do to plan. First, you have to make sure you have the correct travel documents. In order to travel to London, you have to have a valid passport from the country that you're a citizen of. Be aware that it may take 6 to 8 weeks for you to receive your passport. If you're a procrastinator, there is a way for you to get your passport application approved in 2 to 3 weeks. Next, your flight. According to cheapflights.com, the peak times to go is from April to May and September to October because these times tend to be the cheapest and are also they're not very popular for tourists, so it allows you to see everything without being super crowded. Finally, a place to stay. There are many different options for you to stay in London depending on the type of experience that you want to have. There are hotels and Airbnbs. If you want a more luxury experience, you can stay in a hotel close to downtown London, but it'll be a bit more pricey. However, Airbnbs are a good option. Airbnb is an app that allows people to rent out their homes or even rooms in their homes to guests. This is a very good way to choose because you're able to save money and have more space rather than being crammed in a small hotel room. When you arrive in London, public transportation is a very popular way to get around. So make sure you get your Oyster card. An Oyster card allows you to go on the buses and trains by just swiping the card rather than buying tickets for every single trip that you want to take. If you're worried about navigating public transportation, there are many apps that allow you to get directions on where to go by telling you what bus to get on, what train to get on, and what subway to get off on. Even Apple iPhones have Google Maps, which has a transit option that we use, and it's free. Now for London etiquette. When you're navigating public transportation, make sure to stand on the right to allow people to walk on the left. Londoners get a little mad when you're standing on the left and they have to catch a train. If you're not a big fan of public transportation, the London taxi cab system is very reliable. Keep an eye out for the black taxi cabs with the illuminated yellow light on the top to make sure that you're getting into an actual London taxi cab to be safe. Take a look at this picture here. Now, you may be thinking of the lullaby or the Fergie song, London Bridge, but that's not what this is. This is actually called the Tower Bridge, and this is the London Bridge. So when you're trying to see this iconic bridge that is on every picture, make sure to go to the right one. A fun story is that in Arizona, they tried to buy the London Bridge thinking they were receiving this one, and they spent millions of dollars on it, but they actually received this one. They were shocked when they got that. London fashion is very businessy and very nice. You'll see people roaming the streets in their business wear because they take public transportation to work. If you want to blend in with the locals, make sure to fit this because you don't want to get targeted by pickpocketers. Athleisure is very popular in the United States, wearing athletic clothes as everyday clothes, but here in London, they only really wear it if they're working out. Now, what to see? You can see the touristy attractions such as the London Eye, the Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, and the Tower of London. But there are also other things that you can do there. If you're interested in shopping, if you shop in London as a tourist, you can get a VAT tax refund, which allows you to get money back from your purchases when you leave. A popular place to shop in London is Harrods. They have brands like Nike and Adidas, and they also have brands like Louis Vuitton and Gucci, so there's something for everybody. If you're more of a museum person, London is a very versatile city that allows you to have many museums. Here's a list of just a few of the many museums that you can see. They range from history to art to science. You'll have anything that you want to see. Now let's flip to the summary on the back of the book to recap what we talked about. First, we talked about how to plan for your trip. Then we talked about tips and tricks for when you arrive. And finally, what to see. I hope you found this information something that you fancy and that you don't think that it was rubbish. When you guys plan your trip to London, I hope that you send me a postcard.